Okay, I hope this is recording. Seem to be having problems with that lately. It is June 23rd, 2020. I am 25,371 days old today. And looking around the YouTubeverse yesterday, I think I can share a screen and we can review some of that. I don't know how it's going to work. Cool. Won't be able to hear the sound. But yesterday, there was a modern day debate with John Maddox and Smokey Saint facing a couple other people that I didn't know. That was very, very interesting. If you go to Smokey's channel, he did a debate after party, my second debate review live, which I have not listened to yet. And that looks interesting. The other thing interesting going on is, just briefly, Nephilim Free is barfing up stuff about opals again, making them in the lab, and it's amazing. He thinks opals can form, like in a year, rather than how crystals form in dilute solutions over actually millions of years, or thousands of years anyway. Logical, plausible, and probable has nothing going on. Before we leave Smokey Saint, there's a great conversation that he had with Immutable Destiny, and some very interesting comments in the comment section that should be looked at. Smokey apparently thinks that atheists just don't want to believe in God, which kind of surprised me that he had that position. I thought he was better than that, than that kind of talk. I mean, atheists, I'm sorry guys, atheists do not sit around and long to believe or not believe in God. We don't give a shit about God one way or the other. We are concerned, however, about people that have beliefs. It's strange as the beliefs that you theists have. Hell, we think way too much about you guys, but we don't think about God, and we don't give a shit about God, and we don't give a shit about the afterlife or whatever you think is going to happen to us with this burning hell thing that you've imagined. It just isn't on our plates. I'm sorry. You got to get to know us better and figure out, how we think, what our subjective universe is like, because God, you guys are way off kilter. But there are some interesting stuff with Athena, goddess of war, or midnight. I don't know what name he wants to go by. And Smokey managed to insult both Immutable and myself. Well, Smokey insulted Immutable with this, comment about you just don't want to believe in God. I don't know where that's coming from. So that's Smokey's channel, and we have Nephilim Free covered, Logical, Plausible, and Probable did nothing on his channel. Raw Matt had some garbage by Shadow Dancer where she's trying to rewrite history. What a piece of work she is. And Raw Matt Best of Yek marathon. And where is his 4-hour marathon? He did a 4-hour live hangout that we are going to be addressing on Friday night at the Atheists. What's going on there? Standing for Truth, however, had a big debate. Oh, first of all, Standing for Truth has this how to get through a checkpoint real quick. It's 33 seconds long. It's just amazing to watch. I think I'm going to use this method when I go to Canada. It's a really good idea. And why can't I find the big debate, the much anticipated debate between Erica and John Maddox. Now, I've linked in Maddox bases most of his stuff on information and a lot of stuff that came out of the Royal Society that's talking about biosemiotics, none of which supports anything like his position. There is one group of papers, however, by a guy named David Abel and D'Onofrio. They are two secretive ideas who managed to get a bunch of papers published. And David Abel wrote a couple books, which I own. Very interesting, but it's all slanted toward proving ID. And P.Z. Myers does a remarkable takedown of David Abel, where he goes out and David Abel claims to be, what does he claim to be? Some sort of director at the Origin of Life Science Foundation, which turns out to be a house in the suburbs. And he's got a bunch of other impressive titles. Now, Abel, it's fun to read. He's a thinker, and he's got some interesting ideas on information, but it's all slanted with this idea of slipping in intelligent design. So that's kind of ridiculous. Now, in the much anticipated debate between Erica and John Maddox is just, I'm sorry, ignorance. There's nothing wrong with ignorance. If you don't, he's, I don't know what he did professionally, but he certainly doesn't know anything about genetics. He doesn't know anything about biology. He's read the surface stuff.
So many of these aspects are non-negative redundancy. I
don't know how that happened. Anyway, he knows the surface. He doesn't know anything below that. He has a bunch of papers that he read, and he only reads the parts that seem to support his idea. And I would say he was ignorant, but he is also arrogant. And he treats people like Erica, who's an actual scientist who knows things, who has studied this stuff. He treats her with this condescending attitude, and he is willfully ignorant, which makes him stupid. So John Maddox is stupid because willful ignorance is stupidity. And the other thing about Maddox is he has this group of papers on his site that I want to point out where he does, and it's just kind of amazing that he does this, logical, plausible, and true. In his about session, he has this thing that he calls for the annoying people. And in the debate, Erica asks for some papers, and he keeps referencing papers on microRNA, overturning phylogeny. And we think we found the paper he's talking about, and it doesn't say anything like what he's claiming it says, which is ridiculous. But he goes on. But anyway, he considers this for annoying people. He goes out to a bunch of Google Docs and has a lot of the biosemiotics papers that he refers to, and I'm guessing it's his paper verse, though there are papers that aren't showing up here that we still can't find. He mentions in the debate something about Nature. I think he said January 17th of this year, or maybe of last year. But I look at Nature, and I'm looking at the contents, and I can't seem to find what he's talking about. So we're hoping he ponies up those papers. I mean, the guy gets irritated when you ask him for a reference, which means he's an asshole. Okay. So he's an willfully ignorant asshole, which makes him a stupid asshole. And him and I are not getting along lately. You can probably tell that there's a little bit of tension between us. I don't know how to resolve that exactly. Well, I know. If he would be intellectually honest and provide every paper that he claims to, I was reading a paper, or we have found that, provide those papers so that we can take a look at them and we can check your work, John, because we're not going to fucking take your word for it. Pony up the papers all the time. In fact, when you come to a debate, have a list of papers that you're going to refer to, and just pop them into the chat, or better yet, the description, so everybody can get them, and everybody will get along with you. I mean, we're not going to take your arrogant, condescending attitude with the which is a condescending expression. And I don't know if you know it or not, but you come off as very condescending, and that creates a great deal of tension for you. You need to work on that. You need to get a little humility going. And you need to get those papers up front, because we live by those things. We read the papers, do our best to understand the papers and find out what they're really saying. We're not going to trust you to tell us what the hell they say, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Anyway, let's see what else is happening today. Oh yes, I had a hangout last night with Dr. Daniel Stern Cardinal, and it was fun. And he explained mitochondrial mutation rates, coalescence, what's wrong with Sanford, and what is that guy, the mathematician? Can't recall his name this morning. Anyway, they did a mathematical paper that was supposed to take down Fisher's fundamental theorem. Yesterday, we did a long takedown on Saul Cordova, and Saul joined us at the end of it. I don't think he justified his position to us. I suggested to him that he burn whatever papers he has on this thing he's working on with the Fisher-Wright theorem. I don't know if he'll take my advice or not, because I don't think he has an argument at all. It's just it's basically a straw man. So those two things on my channel, I cannot find the Dr. Cardinal debate discussion we had yet. For some reason, YouTube's not showing it. I think it takes them about 24 hours to put it up. So anyway, that's about it. I think it is Tuesday. I have raccoons attacking my fence outside. I'll go attend to them. It is before 6 a.m. in the morning, and I've been working for about 2 hours now. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this shit every day.